Over 4 million tons of tuna are produced globally each year, making it one of the most consumed fish in the world. From the moment the tuna is caught at sea to its final packaging in the factory, every step is carefully designed to preserve its quality and nutritional value. Let's take a closer look at the step-by-step process of how canned tuna is made. Canned tuna first became known in the United States in 1909, particularly on the West Coast. It was invented as a way to preserve fish for long periods without refrigeration. This method extends the shelf life of food from 1 to 5 years. The cans, typically made of stainless steel, are hermetically sealed to protect the contents from ultraviolet light, oxygen, and microorganisms. Tuna is an excellent source of protein, containing about 24 to 25 grams per serving. In fact, scientific studies suggest that canned tuna may even have more protein than fresh tuna, making it a highly nutritious choice for a healthy diet. Tuna is frozen directly on fishing boats and transported to the factory while maintaining the cold chain. At the factory, between 25 and 30 tons of tuna are processed daily. First, the tuna is received from suppliers or fishing boats, and its quality is checked to ensure it is in good condition. Next, the frozen tuna is cut using a saw, first removing the head, then the belly, and finally the tail. Before entering production, the tuna is submerged in water for an extended period to prepare it for cooking. Large trays, 14 meters long and capable of holding around 10,000 kilos of tuna, are used to preserve its flavor and nutritional value. The tuna is then steamed while being constantly monitored by probes inserted into the slices. After about 3 hours of cooking, the tuna is cooled in special conditioning chambers. This step removes excess moisture, ensuring a higher quality final product. The steaming process also eliminates excess fat, making it easier to remove the skin and bones. Once cooled, the tuna moves to the cleaning tables, where workers separate the edible meat from the skin and bones. During processing, workers carefully clean the fish, removing unwanted bones, scales, skin, and fins, while ensuring the meat meets quality standards. The way the tuna is cut depends on the type of can it will be packaged in. Alongside traditional manual production, an advanced automated system operates with 5 production lines to efficiently can the tuna. Once cleaned, the tuna loins are transferred to the canning process. The cleaned tuna loins are placed into a channel, which moves them into a compression chamber to form a cylindrical shape. Blades then cut the tuna and place it into cans. These cans are automatically filled and transported in a single line from the filling machine to the vacuum packaging machine. Each filler can process up to 600 cans per minute, ensuring long-term preservation. Next, liquids are added to the cans depending on the company's recipe. The most common options include olive oil, sunflower oil, or salt water, which help maintain the tuna's quality over time. The filled cans move along conveyor belts, where the liquid is precisely dosed before being sealed and washed. The lids are automatically placed and sealed in a vacuum chamber, where air is removed for a tight, secure closure. Human operators oversee this step to ensure proper sealing, preventing any defects. Sealing machines use steam jets for an airtight seal, processing between 100 and 800 cans per minute. After sealing, the cans are washed and loaded into baskets for steam cooking in autoclaves. They pass through a water bath to remove any oil residue before being transported by powerful magnetic lifts to large metal containers. These containers hold stacks of 12 cans by 12, which are placed in massive pressure cookers for sterilization. Each batch can process up to 12,000 cans at a time. The products, placed in special baskets, move to the next stage, sterilization, one of the most critical steps. Inside large steam autoclaves, the cans undergo a carefully controlled sterilization process, monitored by thermographic technology. This ensures the product is free from harmful bacteria and remains safe and durable for long-term storage. After sterilization, the cans are still hot and go through a cooling process. They first undergo a thermal treatment to extend their shelf life, then receive a cold water bath to regulate their temperature. This prevents any issues during transportation and storage in supermarkets. Next, the sealed cans are placed in sterilization chambers with hot steam to eliminate any bacteria that may be present inside the can or the food itself. Once sterilization is complete, the cans are washed and cooled with ice water. The airtight container prevents any microorganisms from entering and contaminating the product after cooking. Once cooled, the sterilized cans move to a quality control stage. They pass through an X-ray machine to check for bones or metal fragments before proceeding to labeling. The following day, quality control staff open random samples from the previous batch to ensure product consistency. Each production batch undergoes extensive laboratory testing to guarantee food safety. Finally, the cans are labeled with product information, packed into cardboard boxes, and prepared for worldwide shipment. Before delivery, manufacturers conduct one final inspection to ensure no cans are damaged. Some manufacturers hold on to cans for a short period to monitor for any swelling or defects. Damaged cans are never sent to market. As we continue, let's take a look inside this ice cream factory. The process begins with special machines placing cups on a moving belt, ensuring they are ready for the next steps. Then, cones are carefully added. Next comes the filling stage. Creamy ice cream, made from milk, sugar, and flavors like vanilla, is smoothly poured into each cone. Once filled, the ice cream cones move on to the packaging process. They are placed in boxes and sent to freezing chambers to harden. Once fully frozen, they are packed and shipped to stores, ensuring they remain fresh and delicious for everyone to enjoy. The secret to making perfect soft and crispy chicken lies in achieving the right balance between a juicy, crunchy, and golden outside. This balance makes each bite delicious and satisfying. This farm packer is a modern machine designed to make egg packing faster and easier. It can pack up to 36,000 eggs per hour. This automated system ensures smooth and efficient operation. One of its key features is the automatic denister, which separates trays and places them correctly for packing. This removes the need for manual work and speeds up the process. The tray detection system ensures that each egg is placed safely and correctly, reducing waste and breakage. Pepsi is enjoyed by millions of people every day, and its production is a fascinating process. It begins with making a simple syrup by mixing purified water and sugar. This mixture is then sent to maturation tanks, where concentrates and carbonation are added, giving Pepsi its signature fizz and flavor. High-speed bottling machines fill sterilized bottles with the exact amount of Pepsi before sealing and labeling them. Packaging depends on demand, with common formats like 6-packs and 12-packs. Pepsi is also focusing on sustainability by using refillable glass bottles and increasing the use of recycled plastic. The company ensures that used glass bottles are collected, washed, and refilled for reuse. Aluminum cans, another packaging option, are made from recyclable materials. Throughout the process, PepsiCo is committed to reducing water usage and lowering carbon emissions. After packaging, the products are distributed worldwide to supermarkets, restaurants, and vending machines for people to enjoy. Next up, let's explore how cookies are made in a factory. The process begins with automated systems that carefully measure and feed ingredients into mixers to ensure consistency in every batch. This helps maintain the perfect texture and taste. Most factories use the wire-cutting method to shape cookies. The dough is pushed through a mold and then cut into even pieces with a sharp wire. This machine can cut up to 100 cookies per minute and operates without stopping the production line. Another method is the automatic dough extruder, which shapes cookies into different designs using special nozzles. Next, the cookies go into large industrial ovens that use precise temperature control and airflow systems to bake them evenly. After baking, they are carefully transferred to a cooling tower to set properly. Once cooled, the cookies go through quality control before being packed into trays, bags, or boxes using automated machines. And here we have an inside look at the factory of Ben & Jerry's, where their ice cream is made. At the factory, workers mix high-quality ingredients like milk, cream, sugar, and eggs. These are mixed together to create a smooth ice cream base. Next, the mixture is frozen while being stirred to make it creamy. After that, exciting ingredients like chocolate chunks, cookie dough, or caramel swirls are added. Machines then fill the ice cream into tubs, which are sealed and stored in freezers before being sent to stores around the world. Everything is carefully checked to make sure the ice cream tastes perfect. Doughnut production in factories is a streamlined process designed to produce large quantities efficiently while maintaining quality. The process begins with the preparation of the dough, which involves mixing precise quantities of flour, sugar, yeast, eggs, and other ingredients in industrial mixers. The dough is kneaded to achieve the desired elasticity and then left to rest and rise, allowing the yeast to activate. Once the dough is ready, it is transferred to a cutting machine, which shapes it into the classic donut rings or other desired forms such as filled donuts. The shaped dough is placed on trays or conveyor belts and allowed to proof in a controlled environment where it rises further to achieve the light, airy texture characteristic of donuts. The proofed donuts are then fried in large industrial fryers, filled with oil maintained at the perfect temperature. The donuts are cooked evenly on both sides, resulting in a golden brown exterior and soft interior. After frying, they are cooled and moved to the decoration stage. Depending on the type of donut, they may be coated with glazes, dipped in chocolate, dusted with powdered sugar, or filled with cream or jelly. Finally, the donuts are packaged for distribution, ready to delight customers. Now, let's shift gears to this ice cream factory. It all begins with preparing the base mixture, typically consisting of milk, cream, sugar, and stabilizers. These ingredients are blended together to create a smooth and uniform mixture. For flavored ice creams, additional ingredients like vanilla, chocolate, or fruit purees are added at this stage. The mixture is then pasteurized by heating it to kill harmful bacteria, ensuring safety and extending shelf life. After pasteurization, the mixture is homogenized to break down fat molecules, creating a creamy texture. It is then rapidly cooled and aged for several hours to enhance flavor and improve its consistency. Once the base is ready, it is transferred to a freezing machine where it is churned while being rapidly cooled. This process incorporates air, giving the ice cream its light, smooth texture. At this point, mix-ins like chocolate chips, nuts, or swirls of caramel are added for variety. The partially frozen ice cream is then packaged and hardened at very low temperatures to achieve the desired firmness. Finally, it is stored and distributed ready to delight customers with its rich and refreshing taste. Now, let's take a closer look at this pre-packaged sandwiches factory, using a streamlined process to ensure they are fresh, safe, and ready to eat. It all begins with sourcing fresh ingredients like bread, meats, cheeses, vegetables, and condiments. These ingredients are delivered to the factory and stored in temperature-controlled areas to maintain their quality. First, the bread is sliced and placed on assembly lines. Then, spreads like butter or mayonnaise are applied evenly using automated machines. Next, layers of fillings, such as meats, cheeses, or vegetables, are added according to the recipe. Another slice of bread is placed on top to complete the sandwich. The sandwiches are then cut, if needed, and packaged in plastic or cardboard containers. They are sealed to keep them fresh and labeled with details like ingredients and expiration dates. Finally, the packaged sandwiches undergo quality checks before being distributed to stores for customers to enjoy. Bread production is a fascinating process where each loaf moves through a series of high-tech machines, all working together to ensure a perfect result. The process begins with loading the main ingredients, flour, water, yeast, and sugar, into large mixers. Each ingredient flows into the mixer in precise amounts to ensure consistency in the dough. Once inside the mixer, the ingredients are combined, forming a thick and elastic dough. This step is crucial for developing the bread's texture. Once fermented, the dough is transferred to a machine called the divider. This machine portions the dough into individual pieces, which will become individual loaves or buns. Next, the dough pieces move to the shaping station where they are molded into various forms. This machine ensures that each piece has the correct shape and size. After shaping the dough, enters a large industrial oven for baking. The oven is precisely temperature controlled, allowing each loaf to bake evenly, resulting in a golden crust and a soft, airy interior. Inside the oven, the dough expands as it bakes, creating that irresistible fresh bread aroma. This stage gives the bread its structure and flavor. Once baked, the bread needs time to cool before packaging. Conveyor belts carry the freshly baked loaves through a cooling area, where they gradually return to room temperature. This step is essential as packaging. Warm bread could lead to condensation and affect its shelf life. Once cooled, the bread heads to the packaging stage. Here, a specialized machine wraps each loaf, preserving its freshness. These machines can pack up to 45 products per minute and can use different packaging methods, either sealing with heat or closing with clips. Frozen pizza is produced in factories using a highly efficient method that combines advanced technology with stringent quality control to provide tasty, convenient meals. It all begins with preparing the dough, made from a precise blend of flour, water, yeast, and other ingredients. The dough is mixed and left to rise before being rolled into flat sheets and cut into the desired pizza shapes. Next, the pizza bases are partially baked in high-temperature ovens, ensuring a firm crust while maintaining softness inside. After cooling, the partially baked crusts move along conveyor belts to the topping stations. Here, sauce is evenly spread, followed by layers of cheese, meats, and vegetables. Each topping is applied with precision using automated dispensers to guarantee consistency. The fully assembled pizzas are then flash frozen in specialized freezers that rapidly reduce their temperature. This process locks in freshness and preserves the taste and texture of the ingredients. Once frozen, the pizzas are packaged in boxes designed to prevent damage and maintain product quality during transport. Throughout the production, rigorous quality control checks ensure every pizza meets safety and flavor standards. These frozen pizzas are then distributed to stores ready to provide customers with a quick and delicious meal option. Next up, let's take a closer look at the process of making French fries. It starts with choosing high-quality potatoes, often starchy varieties like russet or Idaho, ideal for frying due to their low moisture content. The potatoes are washed thoroughly to remove dirt, then peeled and cut into uniform strips. Consistent size ensures even cooking. After cutting, the potato strips are rinsed in cold water to remove excess starch, which helps prevent them from sticking together and enhances their crispiness. Next, the potatoes are blanched by briefly boiling or frying at a lower temperature. This step softens the interior and partially cooks the fries. After blanching, the fries are drained and cooled, often being frozen for storage in commercial production. Freezing also helps develop a better texture during final frying. In large-scale production, quality control checks ensure uniformity in texture, taste, and appearance before packaging for distribution or serving to customers. These these machines cut the cheese into uniform slices, ensuring consistency in size and thickness. The slices are then arranged neatly onto conveyor belts and transferred to packaging units. Hygienic, airtight packaging is applied to maintain freshness and extend shelf life. Some factories include additional steps, like labeling or sealing the packs in bulk for shipping. This streamlined process ensures the cheese reaches consumers in perfect condition, ready for use. In this factory, deli meat slices are carefully packaged to stay fresh and safe to eat. After the meat is sliced, it is arranged into portions, often separated by thin paper or plastic to prevent sticking. These portions are then placed into pre-cut plastic bags or trays. For longer freshness, the air is removed from the packaging, and it is vacuum sealed. Some packages are filled with a small amount of gas, like nitrogen, to keep the meat from spoiling. Finally, labels with information like the type of meat, weight, and expiration date are added. The packaged slices are then boxed and sent to stores. KitKat has been a favorite among children and adults since its introduction in 1935 during the golden age of chocolate. It consists of 3 layers of crunchy wafer and 2 layers of chocolate-covered filling, all wrapped in smooth milk chocolate, a delicious and iconic combination. One of Nestlé's factories in York, UK, produces over 7 million KitKat bars daily. In the UK alone, 1 billion bars are consumed each year. That's about 1,900 bars eaten every minute. The production process is strategically organized, with all steps in the supply chain located near each other, except for the cocoa trees and their harvest. The journey begins with cocoa beans, mostly harvested in West Africa in March. After being sun-dried for about 7 days, the beans are sent to the production site in York. At the factory, the beans go through a 3-hour process of cleaning, which removes dirt and husking, where rollers crush the beans to release the cocoa seeds. The transformation into chocolate starts when the beans are vibrated to break the shells and expose the pulp, the flavorful, fatty interior of the seed. The broken husks are separated on vibrating filters, and the pulp is roasted in a giant roaster, much like coffee beans. The exact roasting time and temperature are top secrets, as they determine the chocolate's flavor. Once roasted, the cocoa is sent to ovens, where heat and pressure unlock its rich chocolate essence. The chocolate-making process continues with the production of chocolate liquor, which contains cocoa butter. After separating the cocoa butter from the solids, the remaining solids are processed into cocoa powder, a common product found in supermarkets. Cocoa butter is then mixed with cocoa powder, sugar, milk, and vegetable fats to create the chocolate we all love. The mixture is combined in a giant 1-ton mixer, forming a thick, sandy, and sweet chocolate paste. Next comes the conching process, where the paste is refined. This step grinds the chocolate particles into smaller sizes, enhancing its smoothness and creating a better mouthfeel. Longer conching times produce creamier, richer, and higher quality chocolate as the constant friction releases more flavor. Once conching is complete, the chocolate is tempered by heating it, then cooling it to around 27 degrees Celsius. This process prevents crystallization, which can cause a gray or dull layer on the surface, maintaining the chocolate's appealing look and texture. Meanwhile, wafers are prepared by mixing flour and water into a dough, which is shaped and baked at 150 degrees Celsius. Once cooled, the wafers are layered with a creamy filling, ready to join the chocolate in creating the iconic KitKat bars. The assembly of KitKat begins by layering wafers with filling, similar to making a 3-story sandwich. A wafer layer is covered with filling, topped with another wafer, and finished with a plain wafer sheet. KitKat's filling made from cocoa liquor, sugar, and a small amount of crushed KitKat bars. Rejected KitKats are crushed into a paste, which is reused to fill the wafers of new KitKats, a sustainable way to reduce waste. After 16 hours of mixing, the chocolate is ready to become bars. Machines fill 336 molds per minute, producing over 200,000 KitKats daily. The chocolate is pumped into molds to form the bar's exterior. Wafers are placed inside, and a final chocolate layer seals it. Once molded, the bars are cooled in a cooling tunnel to harden. Quality managers remove any defective bars, such as those with bubbles or cracks, crush them, and reuse them for filling. KitKat also produces KitKat Vegan, a plant-based version of the classic chocolate bar, designed to cater to those following vegan or dairy-free lifestyles. Instead of traditional milk chocolate, it uses a smooth and creamy rice-based alternative, maintaining the iconic taste and texture. The crunchy wafer inside remains unchanged, delivering the familiar KitKat experience with every bite. Finally, automated robots quickly wrap the finished KitKat bars, ensuring they're ready for packaging and distribution. After wrapping the bars in decorative packaging, they are ready to delight chocolate lovers around the world. With 7 million KitKat bars produced daily, the packaged bars are transported to a storage facility. From there, as orders arrive, they are moved to the loading area and dispatched to supermarkets, ensuring a steady supply of this iconic treat to satisfy global demand. Now, let's dive into the process of making apple juice. It all starts with selecting fresh and ripe apples, which are thoroughly washed to remove dirt and pesticides. The apples are then sorted to eliminate any damaged or unsuitable fruit. Next, the apples are crushed into a pulp using specialized machines. This pulp is pressed to extract the juice, separating it from the solids like seeds and skin. The extracted juice is filtered to remove impurities and achieve a smooth consistency. To preserve freshness and eliminate bacteria, the juice undergoes pasteurization, a heating process that extends its shelf life without compromising flavor. After pasteurization, the juice is cooled and poured into sterilized bottles or cartons. These are sealed to maintain freshness and labeled with production details. Next up, let's take a look on how instant noodles are manufactured. It all starts with mixing wheat flour, water, and sometimes seasoning to create the dough. This dough is mixed and kneaded to the perfect texture for noodles. The dough is then rolled into thin sheets and fed through machines that cut it into long noodle strands. These strands are formed into the familiar curly shape, which helps the noodles cook evenly. Once cut, the noodles go through a steaming process to partially cook them. Steaming helps retain their shape and prepares them for the next steps. The noodles are cooled and placed into packages along with flavor packets containing seasonings. The packaging is then sealed to keep the noodles fresh until they're ready to be enjoyed. There's nothing quite like a well-baked croissant, with that crispy and soft in the middle, with the subtle flavors that melt in your mouth. However, croissant production must be done just right, especially when you're producing them on a high-speed line. The journey of a croissant begins with its ingredients. Factories use premium flour, rich butter, sugar, yeast, and a touch of salt to ensure consistent quality. The dough is mixed in large industrial mixers, where it transforms into a silky base, ready for the next crucial step. One of the defining features of croissants is their flaky and layered texture. This is achieved through a process called lamination. Large machines roll out the dough into thin sheets and layer it with chilled butter. The dough is folded and rolled multiple times, creating up to 27 layers of dough and butter. These layers are the secret behind the croissant's crisp exterior and airy interior. Once the laminated dough is ready, it's chilled to maintain the butter's integrity. The sheets are then cut into perfect triangles to create that iconic shape of croissants. Automated systems roll these triangles into crescents, a process that's both precise and mesmerizing to watch. Proofing is a critical step in the croissant-making process. The croissants rest in a controlled environment where the yeast activates, causing the dough to rise and develop its light and airy structure. Temperature and humidity are carefully monitored to ensure the croissants proof evenly, creating that perfect texture. Once proofed, the croissants are ready for baking. Industrial ovens bake them at precise temperatures to ensure even cooking. This is where the butter melts, creating steam that forms the iconic flaky layers. In just 20 to 25 minutes, the croissants emerge golden, crispy on the outside, and soft on the inside. Every croissant undergoes strict quality control to ensure consistency. Only the best croissants make it to the packaging line. The ones that don't meet the criteria are removed, ensuring only the best reach the customer. Modern packaging systems carefully wrap the croissants, sealing in their freshness. These systems can package hundreds of croissants per minute, ready to be shipped to bakeries and stores. Next up, let's explore the process of making cheese. It all begins with the arrival of fresh milk. Upon reaching the factory, the milk undergoes a series of tests, chemical, microbiological, and sensory, to ensure it meets quality standards. Once it passes, it's stored in insulated tanks with strict temperature control to maintain freshness. When it's time to begin cheese production, the milk is sent for pasteurization. This step removes any harmful bacteria. Then, specialized ingredients are added including live lactic cultures, Penicillium roquefort, and rennet, which help start the cheese-making process. Next, the milk mixture is poured into stainless steel molds where it begins to take shape as cheese. The cheese is left to rest in these molds for 24 hours. After this initial resting period, the cheese undergoes its first salting, which enhances the flavor and aids in preservation. The cheese is then transferred to a special chamber, kept at around 21 degrees Celsius, where it will rest and age. After another 24 hours, a second salting occurs, which further enhances the cheese's unique flavor profile. Depending on the type of cheese, it can remain here for anywhere between 2 to 7 days. For Gorgonzola, the cheese needs to develop its distinctive blue veins. It's transferred to a cooler chamber at 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, where it's pierced with steel needles. This allows air inside, which helps the Penicillium roqueforti culture grow and form the signature blue mold. The cheese now undergoes a final ripening stage, lasting between 50 and 80 days. Once it reaches optimal maturity, it's ready for cutting and packaging. Using advanced technology like Celox systems, the factory can make up to 130 precise cuts per minute, ensuring consistency in each piece. Once harvested, the shrimp's delivered to the factory, where they are washed thoroughly in cold water to remove dirt, bacteria, and contaminants, helping maintain their freshness. The shrimp are then graded and sorted by size and quality. After this, they are deveined by making a small incision to remove the digestive tract, which improves both appearance and taste. Next, the shrimp are peeled, and depending on market preferences, some may have their tails left intact. In some factories, shrimp are further processed into breaded or seasoned products. This involves coating the shrimp with batter, breadcrumbs, or seasonings before frying them in hot oil for added flavor and texture. After frying or final preparation, shrimp are quickly frozen individually on conveyor belts to preserve freshness and ensure easy portioning. Finally, the frozen shrimp are weighed, packed into secure containers, and stored at low temperatures, ready for distribution to markets. Few foods have achieved the iconic status of Nutella, a velvety chocolate hazelnut spread that has captured the hearts of millions around the world. The process of making Nutella begins with the extraction of cocoa powder from cocoa beans, which are harvested from cocoa trees in West Africa and left to dry for about 10 days. Typically, cocoa beans contain approximately 50% cocoa butter. To reduce the beans into a liquid form, they are roasted, and the cocoa butter is often extracted for use in other chocolate products. The next key ingredient is hazelnuts, which are inspected to ensure they meet high-quality standards. The hazelnuts used in Nutella come from orchards primarily found in Mediterranean climates and various parts of the world, including Turkey, Italy, Chile, and the USA. Turkey's Black Sea region is the world's largest producer of hazelnuts. The hazelnut harvest takes place between the beginning of August and the end of September. To ensure a consistent supply of fresh and quality hazelnuts, cultivation also occurs in countries in the Southern Hemisphere, providing an additional harvest between February and March. Once roasted, the hazelnuts are combined with pure cocoa powder, skimmed milk, and sugar. These ingredients are blended into a smooth paste and prepared for packaging. According to the company, approximately 50 hazelnuts can be found in each jar of Nutella. This ensures that every jar is uniform in both look and taste. Bread production begins with high-quality ingredients. Factories source the finest flour, water, salt, and yeast. Some breads may also contain oil or other seasonings depending on the variety being made. Next, the ingredients are mixed together in large industrial mixers. Water and flour are combined with yeast and salt to form a smooth dough. Once the dough reaches the perfect consistency, it's divided into individual portions. These portions are then shaped into flat discs. Factories use specialized equipment to ensure each piece of dough is the same size and thickness for uniform baking. The dough is then sent to proofing chambers where it rests and rises slightly. Bread is baked on hot conveyor belts or stone ovens. The heat causes the dough to puff up, creating the signature air pockets inside. Each one spends just a few minutes in the oven baking to a soft golden perfection. Some breads are cooked until slightly crispy depending on the desired style.